Santa Monica. Long seen as a symbol of California's lifestyle, relaxed, colorful, and full of life, is now feeling the spillover effects from Venice Beach. The city is struggling with worsening environmental conditions and growing public safety concerns. What once felt like a coastal paradise is now being marked by a drug crisis, polluted ocean water, and fewer tourists, pushing this seaside community into a serious crisis.
What it is? What's up?
What's up?
Got your nigga in the cup.
Goddamn.
What it is? What it is? What it is?
Picture yourself walking along the Santa Monica Pier. The ocean breeze is cool, the view looks priceless, and tourists are laughing and talking all around you. But just a few hundred meters away, the scene changes completely. We're standing right on the line between Santa Monica and Venice Beach. On one side, the area is clean, regularly patrolled, and tents are mostly cleared out each morning. On the other side, many unhoused people are still trying to get through each night. And this is what makes so many people stop and question what's happening.
I broke my leg 2 weeks ago, okay? Santa Monica. They try to take stuff off my neck. My right leg is a weapon. I'm a back-to-back national soccer champion. Upland Celtics is who I represent. I do not get in trouble, but I'm here for the people. Why? Because I am blessed by the Holy Spirit.
According to the latest data, Santa Monica has about 812 unhoused residents, including nearly 475 people living on the streets, with dozens more sleeping in cars, tents, or temporary shelters. That number may not sound massive, but picture a small beach city with that many people lacking stable housing. That's the problem. The city has spent $418 million on this crisis, renewing the state of emergency year after year. So why does it feel like so little has changed? Only about 10% of that money goes toward helping people secure long-term housing. The rest goes to temporary hotels, short-term services, and operating costs. Some politicians have even called it a money pit. Karen Bass, mayor of Los Angeles, once said,
Leaning into the new direction we've charted for LA, my budget also includes an unprecedented $1.3 billion investment to accelerate our momentum on homelessness.
So where did the money go? Or is it being used to move people from one area to another just to keep them out of tourists' view? What do you think? But the story does not end there. Near that iconic pier, there have been times when the ocean water was flagged for quality problems. Not just a little dirty, but at levels that could affect your health. Still, tourists swim as if nothing is wrong.
They say that old breakwater does help prevent beach erosion. It gives marine life a place to flourish. But again, they suspect it may contribute to some water flow issues that trap bacteria and pollutants. So they're just working to better understand what's happening at this point.
Doesn't that feel strange? Tourism here is not what it used to be. Some shopping areas are quieter and more stores are closing. It is not that the beach got worse, the experience got worse. Santa Monica is slowly starting to look more like Venice Beach. You can see it too, right? So in this video, I am not going to show you the most polished version of Santa Monica. I am going to show you the full picture from what you see online to what is actually happening in real life. Stay with me because this is not what you expected. Santa Monica may be just a small piece of Los Angeles County, but it sits in a high-pressure zone. Why? Services, transit, and tourists all collide here. Everything gets concentrated. The change hits fast. Just a few blocks from Santa Monica Pier, the postcard disappears. Small tent groups show up overnight along the bike path and in lots that were once filled with tourists. They are not massive encampments like in Venice, but there are enough scattered setups that the city has to clear them constantly. Start with the numbers. The Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority's 2024 count found more than 75,000 unhoused people across Los Angeles County. Then, in October 2025, LA County announced something shocking. It planned to convert 2 prime oceanfront nursing homes at 413 and 825 Ocean Avenue with million-dollar views facing the sand into supportive housing for mentally ill unhoused individuals. Local homeowners were furious. They flooded the city with petitions, and the plan was quickly paused. But right before Thanksgiving, about 50 unhoused people quietly moved in anyway without permits or approval. City crews had to conduct an emergency inspection and clear the building. Here's what it looks like on the street. Trash builds up faster than crews can remove it. Public bathrooms are limited, so waste ends up on sidewalks and in alleys. The city clears encampments, and days later people return. Same places, same pattern, no lasting solution. If the cleanups keep happening again and again, is anything being fixed? 3rd Street Promenade is no longer the upscale retail destination it once was. Those boarded up storefronts are the sound of money leaving. Retailers are pulling out because a business cannot survive when its entrance becomes a de facto biohazard zone. Major anchor tenants are leaving, replaced by plywood and for-lease signs that sit there for months. The math is brutal but simple. When the experience falls apart, revenue follows. Bottom line, if the city keeps choosing appearances over street-level safety, it is not only losing visitors, it is giving up its future. At this point, the decline feels built into the infrastructure itself. What you are seeing now is the death of a West Coast icon. Add it all up: high density, limited infrastructure, repeated cleanups, water contamination, and a day-night safety gap. This is not one problem, it is pressure stacked on pressure. And when pressure builds, something breaks.
Sit down. Xanax? How much have you taken?
Now let's move past the postcard image and focus on the real impact at street level. Santa Monica used to represent the classic California dream-packed beaches. Clean sand, constant energy, and tourists pouring in from everywhere. That was the image. Today, that same coastline is taking hit after hit. Start with the water. Heal the Bay gave the Santa Monica Pier another F grade for bacterial pollution. Storm drains and city runoff are sending fecal indicator bacteria directly into the ocean beneath the pier. From a distance, it still looks like paradise. But people who follow the data know the health risks are real: stomach illness, ear infections, and skin rashes. Still, Tourists and locals keep entering the water like nothing is wrong. How many people are swimming in water that experts rate as failing without even knowing it? Then there is public safety. In the daytime, the pier is busy, loud, and full of cameras. But after dark, the atmosphere can change completely. On March 15th, 2026, a large fight broke out near the arcade around 9 p.m. Gunfire followed and 2 people were hit, one in the arm and another grazed. An 18-year-old from Rialto was arrested at the scene. The crowd scattered like it had entered a danger zone. And this is not an isolated incident. Meth and fentanyl have made part of the street population far more unstable and unpredictable. Today, roughly 50% of downtown police calls are connected to homelessness-related incidents. The numbers are clear, public order offenses are rising, and the sense of unease is spreading. Same pier, same sand, same ocean, but after sunset, it becomes a completely different reality. You see it. Tourism is taking the hardest hit. Visitor numbers have fallen by more than 50% since 2019. Stores on the promenade are boarding up, hotels are struggling, and the city has declared fiscal distress with a multi-million-dollar gap in its budget. Locals will tell you directly that this is not just bad PR. The visible disorder, the trash, and the constant low-level tension are destroying the experience that once brought visitors back year after year. That is the sharp contrast. By day, it still looks like Instagram California with happy crowds, the Ferris wheel turning and kids laughing. But once the sun goes down, the mood changes fast. Fewer people are outside, the air feels more cautious, and police calls increase. Same place, 2 totally different worlds. And the question no one wants to ask out loud is this: how long can a tourist destination survive when the California dream image and the raw street reality keep crashing into each other on camera? Let's get straight to the street-level reality most people avoid saying out loud. Drive 10 minutes south from Santa Monica Pier, and you reach Venice Beach, a completely different battleground. Venice is still the more intense zone, larger tent setups, more RVs blocking side streets, graffiti-covered disorder, and those well-known encampments that keep returning even after major sweeps. Just this year, one of the worst areas near Rose and Hampton came back 3 years after the Inside Safe program cleared it. On the ground, it feels rough tents packed closer together, more visible trash and debris, and a stronger fentanyl presence that keeps things unstable. Now shift back to Santa Monica. For now, the city still keeps tighter control. There are no huge tent cities like the ones in Venice. Strict anti-camping rules lead to smaller scattered setups, mostly single tents or people sleeping in vans and cars near parking lots and the bike path. The numbers support that picture. While Venice reduced its unsheltered count by 22% last year, Santa Monica actually saw a 5% increase, mostly tied to people living in vehicles. But here's the difficult part. Much of that growth appears to be spillover. When Venice pushes people out, some simply head north by bus or bike and settle near the Santa Monica border. Same ocean, same sand, only 10 minutes apart. Yet the street reality can feel completely different. Or can it? Because what insiders are really noticing is that Santa Monica looks more like Venice every month. Those small tent clusters near the pier and beach parking lots are becoming more common. The same pattern of encampments returning days after cleanups is starting to appear. The spillover effect is real, and tougher enforcement is only moving the pressure, not eliminating it. Is Santa Monica still holding the line, or is it slowly slipping toward the same disorder just south of its border? The street-level bottom line is this: Venice is louder, messier, and more deeply entrenched. Santa Monica still looks cleaner on the surface and enforces more aggressively, but the numbers and daily movement on the street tell another story. The pressure from next door is not going away. It is crossing the line and testing how long Santa Monica can keep its version of controlled before the two beaches start feeling too similar. This crisis does not begin on the sidewalk. It begins with cost and supply. Across Los Angeles County, housing prices and rents have outpaced incomes for years. Starter units are scarce, and affordable housing is tighter. So when income drops slightly, people can fall out of the system quickly. One missed paycheck, one medical bill, one lost job, that can break the chain. Then comes the pipeline problem. Short-term shelters exist, but capacity is limited and turnover is slow. Getting from a bed tonight to stable housing months later is the bottleneck. Waitlists grow. Paperwork piles up. Agencies do not coordinate smoothly. As a result, people cycle from street to shelter and back again. It is not a straight road out, it is a loop. Add post-pandemic pressure. Service jobs disappeared, then returned unevenly. Some workers never came back at the same pay level. Inflation pushed food, transit, utilities, and other basic costs higher. So people with jobs cannot always close the gap between income and rent. That gap is where instability takes hold. Now connect the system. High housing costs plus low supply pushes people out. Limited shelter capacity means people cannot transition quickly. Economic shocks mean more people fall in. Health barriers mean fewer exits. Everything feeds everything else. That is why quick cleanups do not solve it. You can clear a block, but if the pipeline stays clogged, the pressure builds. The root cause is not visibility. It is a housing and support system operating below demand. After seeing the pressure building on the streets, and the spillover hitting Santa Monica, the obvious question is, what is the city actually doing about it? In March 2025, Santa Monica released its official homelessness strategic plan for 2025 to 2030. The plan is built on 4 main pillars. Prevention aimed at keeping people from losing housing in the first place. Behavioral health meant to confront mental health and addiction issues directly. Safe public spaces designed to keep the beach and downtown usable for everyone, and regional coordination so the city can work with LA County and nearby communities instead of trying to handle the crisis alone.
My nickname is Decay, that's what everyone calls me.
Then, in October 2025, the city adopted its realignment plan. This is the tougher street-level part of the response. Santa Monica has expanded the homeless liaison program, with more officers downtown, continued irregular encampment cleanups, and leaned harder into enforcement. During the first 6 months, the city reorganized patrols, so 8 to 10 officers are now focused on downtown every day. But this is where the street reality gets uncomfortable. The city is clearly trying to shift services away from the most valuable tourist areas. Officials are considering leasing beds outside downtown, including places like Pico Neighborhood and even Sunset Park. There is also serious discussion about moving the old Samo Shell shelter completely and replacing it with a new healing center model that combines housing addiction treatment and mental health support. For the first time, the city is even looking at locations beyond Santa Monica's borders to reduce pressure around the beach and pier. They are spending millions and changing the entire strategy, but does moving the crisis a few miles away really solve it? On paper, it sounds like progress. On the sidewalk, the cycle is still harsh. Crews clear areas near the beach or parking lots in January or March, remove the tents and debris, and then several setups appear again within days. The pattern keeps repeating: clean it up today, tents come back tomorrow. Enforcement is tougher than in Venice, but the deeper problems, addiction, mental health struggles, and not enough long-term housing keep pushing people back outside. So is this real change, or just an expensive version of whack-a-mole that looks strong in reports, but falls apart on the street? The city says it is moving away from simply managing the impacts and toward housing outcomes it can actually control. Residents and business owners are watching carefully to see whether the realignment plan can create safer public spaces without just pushing the disorder somewhere else. The street-level bottom line is this: Santa Monica is trying harder and spending more than many other places with clearer plans and better coordinated enforcement. But the daily results still show the same frustrating cycle sweep, clear repeat. Whether this 5-year strategy and the realignment plan can finally break that loop is the real test playing out on these beaches in 2026. Santa Monica still gives you the picture sunset ocean and the iconic Santa Monica Pier shining in the distance. But when you look closer, the divide between the image and reality becomes hard to miss. The problems are not invisible. They are just easy to frame out. So the real question is not whether this place is still beautiful. It is. The question is whether the experience around it still lives up to the promise. When a destination starts feeling unpredictable, people do not just leave. They think twice about returning. And maybe that is where Santa Monica is right now, not ruined, but clearly at a crossroads.